Ladles and jelly spoons, welcome back to the Orbital Broadcast Bunker, Britain's first and only airborne subterranean studio. Yes, we're still defying physics. No, we won't explain how. Hey, I tell you, this place gives me more motion sickness than playing Mirror's Edge on a boat.
Oh, I've brought biscuits, so they help with simulation sickness.
Keith, those are memory cards.
Oh, I did wonder why they tasted like plastic. Oh God, I've lost my save data and my appetite.
Welcome to the first retro roundup of 2026, and video games hitting their landmark years. Some have aged like fine wine, others like milk left on a radiator. Hey, now it's a bit better than when games came on cassette and you had to wait 20 minutes for them just to load. Oh, that's enough time for a pint of Guinness to settle. Pat showing his age again. I think you'll find I'm vintage, not old.
Yeah, like a good Darjeeling.
Keith, we're not there yet. Save the tea chat. January 1986. Thatcher's in power, shoulder pads are mandatory, and Commodore drops Mindwalker on the Amiga. Mindwalker? I think they've got that on tap at Dog and Duck. You walk into a human's brain to cure psychosis. Choose your fighter: bodybuilder, water nymph, wizard, or alien spriggan.
I knew a badger called Spriggan. And did you know badgers use their powerful front claws for digging and opening wasps' nests? They eat the entire thing, stings and all.
Right, never mind. Anyway, Mindwalker survived 4 generations of Amiga OS without a single update. That's either brilliant design or pure luck. I bet it will look everything 80s was held together with open sticky tape. January 1986, and Commodore drops Mindwalker on the Amiga 1000, one of the first games on their shiny new computer. You play as a bloke who shrinks himself down and legs it through someone's brain to cure their psychosis. Standard Tuesday, really? Pick your avatar: bodybuilder, water nymph, wizard, or alien spriggan. Then navigate neurons and synapses whilst battling subconscious nasties. The whole thing plays like Tron had a baby with a psychology textbook after too many pints down the Dog and Duck. You're collecting coloured fragments of sanity, because that's how mental health works apparently. Navigate through the id, ego and superego whilst dodging brain parasites. Freud would have loved this. Either that or he would have sued. Critics called it ambitious and technically impressive. Players called it weird and confusing. I mean, both were right. Mindwalker became a cult curiosity. A game that everyone remembers but nobody actually finished. Classic Amiga when you think about it. The entire game takes place inside someone's head. That's very metaphysical for 1986.
I once got lost in my own thoughts, Took 3 cups of Earl Grey to find my way out.
Skip forward 10 years to 1996 and Duke Nukem 3D explodes onto MS-DOS like a testosterone grenade.
Come get some.
Duke Nukem, the gaming equivalent of a stag do in Blackpool. John St. John voiced Duke, delivering lines that would make Mary Whitehouse spin in her grave. Interactive environments, proper level design, and humour so crude it's definitely been cancelled.
Well, I remember the controversy. My neighbour, Mrs. Pemberton, wrote 3 letters to her MP about it.
Did she play it?
Well, no, but she saw the box art in Woolworths.
Damn, those alien bastards are gonna pay for shooting up my ride.
Duke Nukem 3D. It landed on MS-DOS like a brick through a window. 3D Realms made this one. It were a proper first-person shooter with a mouth on it. Duke's back from his space holiday only to find that aliens have invaded Los Angeles. His response? Well, shoot everything, crack wires and tip strippers. Subtle as a Sheffield Wednesday away kit, that. You got proper weapons, shrink rays, pipe bombs and that devastator thing that ruins friendships, as well as levels you could actually interact with. Critics loved the technical bits and the level design, whilst parents were having kittens about the violence and the birds in bikinis. Didn't stop it selling millions though, did it? And it shows up on every best game ever list. Usually that are written by blokes my age who should really know better. Now, the multiplayer destroyed more friendships than Monopoly. Good times then, good times. Now, Duke Nukem 3D made its way into book 1001 video games you must play before you die by Tony Mott, the fantastic editor of Edge magazine. Of course this game made it in. Tony were probably writing this book with one hand and playing Duke with the other. Come on, Mr. B, you know what you got to do.
I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, they made action figures back in 1997, limited edition SWAT, Duke and everything. Action figures? For Duke Nukem? I mean, what parent is buying their kid a pig cop for Christmas?
Well, my grandson got one. We told him it was from Babe 3, Pig in the Strip Club. But he was too busy playing Guardian Heroes on his Sega Saturn. They called it a fighting RPG, don't you know?
Marketing departments in the 90s just mashed words together, didn't they? Branching paths, multiple endings, and a karma system that tracked whether you'd murdered civilians.
Yeah, Guardian Heroes on the Sega Saturn. My nephew Timothy had one of those. He spent hours explaining it over Sunday roast whilst his Yorkshire puddings went cold. The story follows a young warrior who finds a mystical sword and resurrects an ancient guardian. Rather like finding my grandmother's tea service in the attic. Suddenly you're responsible for something precious and everyone wants a piece of it. Well, you're not having it, Steve. She left it to me. Anyway, yes, the kingdoms corrupt, naturally, kingdoms usually are in these things. Now you fight sideways like those old puppet shows on Brighton Pier, but you can hop between three planes, the background, the middle and the foreground. Timothy demonstrated this using the salt, pepper and gravy boat. It made perfect sense after my third sherry. Now the clever bit was choosing your own path through the story, because apparently there were 6 different endings. A bit like choosing which tea to serve at different times of the day. You see, each choice led to somewhere different. Now, people still talk fondly about this game and it's become quite the collector's piece. A bit like my grandmother's tea service. And if you want it, Steve, maybe reply to my text about Easter.
Music from Hideki Masataki, formerly of the Yellow Magic Orchestra. That's proper pedigree. There's another one for your list, Mr. B. Guardian Heroes, but it's in the book. That's one video games you must play before you die, by Tony Mott. That's really fantastic editor of Edge magazine. Pat, you make it sound like homework. You know he won't. Oh, well, he bloody well should. I mean, what else is he doing?
Well, he does have band on a Tuesday. I'm also pretty sure we've mentioned this game before. We should have looked at...
Ladles and jelly spoons, if you haven't already, please do subscribe to the channel and remember to share this video with someone you know who still owns a Sega Saturn. All 3 of you.
Yes, I'll be sure to share it at the Badger Watch coffee mornings.
Please don't, Keith. January 2001, RuneScape launches and ruins productivity for an entire generation. Yeah, my nephew played that 12 hours a day. God, his mum thought he'd joined a cult. January 2001, and Jagex unleashes RuneScape onto unsuspecting browsers everywhere. Java-based medieval clicking simulator that destroyed more GCSEs than any mobile phone ever could. You're a nameless hero in Gillinor, killing cows for 8 hours to afford bronze armour. The plot? Well, it's just whatever quest you stumble onto whilst looking for the bank. Save kingdoms, slay dragons, or spend 3 weeks fishing for lobster. It's your choice. Click to move, click to fight, click to mine, click until your mouse begs for death. Skills? Well, they're for everything. Wood cutting, fire making, running away from player killers in the wilderness who definitely weren't using their mum's credit card for better gear. 300 million accounts created and Guinness World Records noticed. Meanwhile, teachers nationwide despaired as IT rooms became medieval sweatshops. Free to play meant everyone tried it. Memberships meant that your parents questioned what that fiver was on their statement. And it's still running today, somehow. A bit like a pub carpet that's never been cleaned, but you know, everyone accepts it. $300 million accounts created. Guinness World Records called it the largest free MMORPG.
MMORPG.
Massively multiplayer online role-playing game. Like there's also in the book 1001 Video Games You Must Play Before You Die by Tony Mott, that fantastic editor of Edge magazine. Now, Mr. B, get on it, lad. That's 3 on your list this year alone. Yes, Mr. B, you'd be grinding for experience points while Keith's grinding tea leaves. Same energy, different outcome.
Yeah, in Sri Lanka, tea pickers harvest leaves by hand. Only the top 2 leaves and the bud. That's how they maintain cerulean tea quality.
How did we transition from RuneScape to tea?
Practice.
Giga Wing 2 hit the Dreamcast in 2001 and scores went into the quadrillions. Quintillions, you say? Oh, I can barely count my change after a night out. Giga Wing 2 then came to Dreamcast in 2001, where a vertical shooter played on a horizontal screen, like reading a newspaper sideways. Story involves magical stones and time travel, 4 pilots trying to stop some apocalypse or other. Usual stuff. Honestly though, you're too busy trying not to die to notice plot points. Now the Reflect Force system lets you turn enemy bullets back at them. Hold the button, create a barrier and send everything back where it came from. Like arguing with the missus, really. Now, scores went into the quadrillions. You heard me right, quadrillions. My calculator just shouts error after 10 million, you know. It made our score tables pointless, because everyone's score looked like a phone number from another dimension. Critics said it was solid, but it was unspectacular, and the players with neck strain from sideways monitors agreed. Still, Dreamcast owners bought anything that moved in 2001, desperate times and all. Vertical shooter on a horizontal monitor. It's like watching TV after a night out.
My neck hurts just thinking about it. Meanwhile, Sega announced they were ditching consoles entirely. The Dreamcast died and suddenly they're making Sonic games for Nintendo.
Yeah, it's like Manchester United playing at Anfield.
Or putting the milk in before the tea bag.
Feel free to disagree with Keith in the comments down below. It would serve us right if the most comments we ever got on a video had nothing to do with video games. 2006 now, officially retro territory. 25 to Life launches, letting you play as cops or robbers online.
Damn, where did these pigs come from?
25 to Life, released on the PC, PlayStation 2 and the Xbox. My nephew Timothy played this one as well. The language was, it was quite colourful. Now you play as both police officers and criminals, switching between them like you're choosing between Earl Grey and English breakfast. Now the story follows rival gangs and law enforcement in modern American cities. A bit like those television programs that my wife watches, except you're holding a controller instead of a cushion. Online matches had 16 players all shooting each other simultaneously. Sounded like fireworks night in my living room. Timothy explained that you could customise your character with tattoos and such. I suggested a nice cardigan, but apparently that wasn't an option. Critics weren't particularly kind. They called it mediocre and repetitive. Again, sounds like the wife. Still, it sold well enough. People do enjoy playing cops and robbers, regardless of age. Although at my age, I'd rather be sitting down being mediocre and repetitive.
Ape Escape 3 on the PlayStation 2. I'm still waiting for that PlayStation 4 re-release they sort of promised. Any day now, I'm sure.
Whoa, lads, let's not cock this up. Ape Escape 3 officially released in July of 2005 in Japan. It was our American cousins who got it in January of 2006. We need to be on this sort of thing. Research, like in January 2006, West Virginia schools added Dance Dance Revolution to combat obesity.
2016. Feels wrong to call it retro, but here we are. Oxenfree drops teenagers on an island with a supernatural mystery. Well, it's every teen horror film plot since 1978. No cutscenes though. You keep control during conversations. Clever for 2016.
You used to come here a lot as a kid, right?
January 2016, Night School Studios drops Oxenfree, their debut game about teenagers on an island making terrible decisions, because that always ends well. You're Alex, bringing your new stepbrother Jonas to an overnight beach party on Edwards Island. Someone brings a radio, you tune into frequencies you shouldn't, and suddenly you're dealing with time loops and possessed mates. It's a standard night out in Dudley, really. The dialogue system keeps rolling whilst you walk and explore, no stopping for cutscenes here, and your choices actually matter. Relationships will change and your friends will remember when you've been a prick to them. Now the radio mechanic opens rifts, you solve puzzles and contact the dead. Think talk radio, but with consequences. Critics love the atmosphere and voice acting, whilst players praise the naturalistic dialogue. Yeah, teenagers who actually sound like teenagers, not Shakespeare with acne. The game won awards, it got a sequel, and became every indie developer's reference point for meaningful choices. It still holds up today, unlike my optimism about 2016 being a good year.
Does it hurt?
Yeah, my granddaughter loved it. You know, she said it was a vibe.
Everything's a vibe now. Even my local Tesco's claims to have a vibe.
Homeworld, Deserts of Kharak, taking space combat and slapping it into the desert.
Homeworld, Deserts of Kharak. It's a prequel to the 1999 space game, except they've stuck it in the desert. It's a bit like serving fish and chips on a roof. Now, you're the chief science officer who's looking for a crashed spaceship in sand. The campaign follows your convoy across the dunes, whilst religious fanatics try to blow you up. Standard desert holiday, really. Real-time strategy with massive land carriers instead of motherships. Now, units persist between missions, so if you lose your best tank, that's it, they're gone. Tough consequences for poor decisions. But at least base building's gone. Everything happens on or around your carrier. Move it or lose it, which is a bit like parking at Meadowhall on Boxing Day. Now, critics liked it, said it captured the original's feel despite swapping space for sand. Fans bought it, played it, and then went back to Space One. The desert's nice for a visit, but you won't want to live there. I mean, ask anyone from Skegness.
Galcian support cruiser destroyed.
Prequels were big in 2016. Turns out everything needs an origin story.
And even my badgers have an origin story, Pat. Did you know they're related to weasels?
It's not an origin story, Keith. So, there you have it. 40 years of gaming in January. From Mindwalker's psychological walkabout to Oxenfree's teenaged angst. Cool, makes you feel old, doesn't it?
I was already old in 1986.
Have you played any of these games? Have you got any facts that we might have missed? Well, let us know in the comments. Pat reads every single one. I do not. Like this video if Duke Nukem shaped your teenage years, subscribe for more retro ramblings, and share this video with someone who still thinks the Dreamcast might make a comeback.
Any day now, I'm sure.
Well, from Britain's gravity-defying studio, this has been our Retro Roundup. Until next time, ladles and jelly spoons, we'll leave you with this. Daylight savings time. Why are they saving it and where are they keeping it? Cheerio. See you soon.